Alright, what's going on, guys? It's Valrico here, and today I'm bringing you some Vampyr gameplay, and we're going to talk about this game. This is going to be kind of my thoughts on the game. Kind of a review, but not really. I'm not one of those channels that does reviews. I just play games and beat them or whatever and put up gameplay or do Let's Plays. But I don't really do reviews like that. But I think instead of calling them reviews, I think I'm just going to call them, let's talk about whatever game. I think that's going to be the title of this video. Let's talk about a particular game. And the first video, is going to be the game that is on the screen, Vampyr. Now, there's going to be no spoilers in this video. I'm not going to spoil the ending. I will say, though, that the decisions you make in this game do affect the ending, and there's multiple different endings, so that's what I will say. But I won't spoil the ending for anybody. I hate when people do that, and I don't do it. So, with that being said, this is pretty early on in the game. I'm a level 13, so I did showcase a lot of combat in this video. I think that's what I'm gonna do. The talking, obviously, I'm gonna be talking, so you can't really listen to the dialogue that much. But yeah, this game came out. I bought it. I pre-ordered it, and then I didn't get around to playing it when it first came out because I was playing other games, and then I finally got around to playing it, and I like it. It's a great game. I believe it released for $50 or $40, $50 I think, and it's I don't know. I think it could have been $60. I'm not gonna say it should have been because I'm pro-consumer, so games most of the time, I don't even think these games should be worth $60 to begin with. I think most of these games are $30 at best. But this game is definitely worth the $40 or $50 that the price tag. I mean, they could have actually bumped it up to $60. Is my original point that I was gonna make. But it being $50, that's cool. That's cool. And it's definitely worth the $50 that that the price tag asks for. So, I played and beat this game, and I think this game is freaking amazing. Now, graphically, it's a pretty good-looking game. Now, you can't really make it that graphically nice when we're doing doom and gloom type graphics, gothic graphics where it's really dark and shit like that. But it sets the atmosphere. It definitely does set the atmosphere. The combat sometimes can be a little bit wonky. But for the most part, the combat is solid as well. I would rate the graphics 8, and then the combat 7. And then immersion maybe a 9, because it definitely, as far as immersion goes, it's definitely a 9, because we haven't had a Vampyr game in I don't know fucking how long. And not only is it a Vampyr game, it has that Dark Souls, Bloodborne style combat system, which I love now. It has grown on me so much. At first I thought this shit was whack. Stamina bars, whack, get it out of here, trash. The first time I played Bloodborne, but then when I go back and play it again, it just makes the game more rewarding when you do beat a boss or when you get through a hard part of the game, because you can't just run through and hack and slash like you want to. Now a little bit later on in the game, when you get your stamina up and shit like that, you can, these enemies right here that I'm fighting, you can just run through them. Level 16s are nothing, because I think the max rank, I believe, is 50, so, and you can't go no higher even if you unlock all of your equipment. I mean, not equipment, but your abilities. You can't go any higher than 50. 50 is the max, and then these guys right here, you can just run through them like they're not even there. I would say, though, a quick tip for people that do play this game: definitely focus on getting your health, stamina, and blood bar up. That's the most important thing, in my opinion. Everything else doesn't really matter. These attack abilities, whack. I really don't care for it. And get yourself a one-handed weapon. Now this axe, I believe, I don't want to spoil how I got it, but I killed a guy. I killed a guy. I think it was, fuck it. The first guy that comes, when you get off of the boat, I'm not going to spoil anything further than that. When you first get off the boat, the first guy you come in contact with, I killed him, took him around the corner, killed him, and he has an axe. It's called Clay's axe or whatever. I believe Clay's axe or something like that. You'll see it when you see his name. You'll know him. I killed him and got the axe, and that was big time. Now, when you do kill people, it definitely affects the ending of the game. So you want to try not to kill anybody, to be honest. If you want the good ending or the bad ending, you just kill everybody. Now, I went ahead and just killed every fucking body. I don't give a fuck. But I did get this one-handed axe that was big time. I kept it for most of the game and upgraded it. And on his offhand, the Y button, the offhand weapon, I forgot how I got that, but it's basically a little knife that you can stab people with. And that is very important for when you're fighting people like this guy. You can stab him with the offhand button and refill your blood vial, as I was doing right there, like 5 seconds back if you rewind. I was stabbing him with that right there. That attack right there is the offhand attack, and that gives you your blood bar back, so you can press the heal button. That gives you your health back. So that was big time. These two-handed weapons are pretty trash. I didn't even try to use them. I was like, once I realized that the offhand button was, you know, you can heal yourself and fill up your health, or not your health bar, but your blood bar. I was like, okay, one-handed weapons are the way to go. And later on, I did get another weapon. That was a one-handed weapon. That wasn't the axe anymore. That was really, really good. Won't spoil that, but I believe I don't even remember how I got it. But with that being said, this game is fucking amazing as far as setting the tempo for how a vampire game should play. I do think that the next one is going to be fire. They're definitely going to have a sequel. They're getting really great reviews. Even on Steam, they're getting great reviews. All these different publications are giving them great reviews. So I do think that the next game is going to be super fire, because this world, it's an open world game, and it was pretty sizable for a first game, a first iteration of, you know, a newly IP, new franchise, or whatever. But I think that the next Vampire game, Part 2, is going to be way better. That's how it usually is with video games. The sequel's always, most of the time, better than the original. Uncharted 1 was solid. Uncharted 2 was greatness. Last of Us 1 was greatness. This Last of Us 2 is probably going to be the greatest shit we've ever played. It's looking like that. You know, that's pretty much how it goes. People like Gears 2 a lot. Halo 2 is definitely better than Halo 1. Halo 3 was a fucking masterpiece. You know, sequels get better and better. Now, after 3, they get, you know, kind of carried away for most of the time. But anyways, Part 2 of this game is going to be absolutely phenomenal. Another thing, the boss fights are they're pretty good. They're not the greatest. They're not Bloodborne boss fights. They're not Dark Souls boss fights. But it was mostly vampire on vampire boss fights throughout the game. There was no, you know, big creatures you had to fight. It was pretty basic as far as boss fights go. That's not a bad thing, but it's, you know, when you're coming off Bloodborne, where you got all these intricate different bosses, and they all have their different weaknesses, you know, and then you come to these boss fights, they're not, like, impressive or insane. Like Bloodborne, like, I remember, you know, in Bloodborne, there was a boss fight called Rom the Vacuous Spider, and the whole thing about him was you couldn't hit him in the face because his fucking face was made out of steel. So the only way you can damage him was hitting him from behind or on the side. Now, you know, they don't have any intricate style boss weaknesses like on this game. It's mostly just attack, and, you know, throughout the boss fight, they're going to start getting more aggressive and start pulling out new maneuvers that you didn't expect. So it's not the greatest. They don't have the greatest boss fights. But the voice acting is really good. Some of the facial animations aren't that great, and some of them are. It just is hit or miss with certain characters. Like, these people look alright, but Elizabeth, a main character in the game, her face is completely, like, blank. It looks like a PlayStation 3 face animation. She has no detail on her face. She has nothing unique about her. She's just a red-haired broad with weird eyebrows, pretty much. So, you know, they don't have the best facial animations on certain characters, but some of them look nice. So with that being said, oh, and one other thing before I end this video, which I thought was dope, and it continued with the vampire theme of this game, which is you can make the game easier for you. I mean, you can go through the game and not kill anybody, and I mean, like, you know, suck the blood of any innocent people. You can go through the game and beat it like that, but it'll be really, really hard. And the game tempts you and allows you to kill people to get XP, quick XP to upgrade your character, Jonathan Reed. But it'll, you know, affect the way, it'll affect your story. And also, it's interesting that, you know, they give you the temptation of, hey, we'll give you easy XP to make the game easier, but you gotta kill. It's the same thing, you know, with like a vampire needing blood to survive or to get stronger. It was interesting the way they tied that into the gameplay, and made it a game mechanic, which was pretty dope. Because, you know, you can go through the game and it'll be as hard as you want it to, you want it to be, but I definitely made it a little bit easier and killed a few people. You know, I took some motherfuckers off in the alleyway and bit their neck. I'm not gonna lie. I had to make it a little bit easier. It got hard. A little bit later on in the game, it gets real, real hard. You gotta, some of these boss fights last like 5-6 minutes. It's hard. You know, it's a hard fight. So, but I powered through it and beat the game. It's a great game. And with that being said, I think there's not much left to say about this game. Check it out if you haven't played it. It's a really good game. Hit the like button, the subscribe button, grab that AI slot. Oh, and one more thing. I believe you can change your character's outfit. I've seen it in other people's videos, but I never figured out how to do it. So I rock this outfit throughout the game, which isn't a bad outfit. He looks fresh as fuck. Jonathan does in this suit, trench coat attire. He looks pretty fresh. I've seen other people run around with a top hat on and shit like that, different outfits. I don't know how to do it. Maybe I should have looked around in the Pembroke Hospital and seen if there's like a closet or something like that. But anyways, hopefully you enjoyed the video. Hit the like button, subscribe button, gab.ai/Valrico, twitter.com/Valrico, youtube.com/Valrico, and I'm out of this bitch. Peace.